Charles, I thank thee for thy love to me, which thou shalt find I will most kindly requite. I had myself notice of my brother's purpose herein, and have by underhand means labored to dissuade him from it, but he is resolute. I'll tell thee, Charles, it is the stubbornest young fellow of France, full of ambition and envious emulator of every man's good parts, a secret and villainous contriver against me, his natural brother. Therefore use thy discretion. I had as lief thou didst break his neck as his finger, and thou wert best to look to it. For if thou dost him any slight disgrace, or if he do not mightily grace himself on thee, he will practice against thee by poison, entrap thee by some treacherous device, and never leave thee till he hath ta'en thy life by some indirect means or other. For I assure thee, and almost with tears I speak it, there is not one so young and so villainous this day living. I speak but brotherly of him, but should I anatomize him to thee as he is, I must blush and weep, and thou must look pale and wonder. Farewell, Charles. Now will I stir this gamester. I hope I shall see an end to him, for my soul, yet I know not why, hates nothing more than he. But it shall not be so long. This wrestler shall clear all. Nothing remains but that I kindle the boy thither, which now I'll go about.
To be or not to be? That is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles and by opposing end them. To die. To sleep. No more. And by sleep to say we end the heartache and the 1,000 natural shocks that flesh is heir to. 'Tis a consummation devoutly to be wished. To die. To sleep. To sleep, perchance to dream. Aye. There's the rub. For in that sleep of death, what dreams may come when we have shuffled off this mortal coil must give us pause. There's the respect that makes calamity of so long life. For who would bear the whips and scorns of time, the oppressor's wrong, the proud man's contumely, the pangs of despised love, the law's delay, the insolence of office, and the spurns that patient merit of the unworthy takes? When he himself might his quietus make with the bare bodkin? Who would fardels bear to grunt and sweat under a weary life, but that the dread of something after death, the undiscovered country from whose bourne no traveler returns, puzzles the will and makes us rather bear those ills we have than fly to others that we know not of. Thus, conscience does make cowards of us all. And thus, the native hue of resolution is sicklied o'er with the pale cast of thought. And enterprises of great pith and moment, with this regard, their currents turn awry, and lose the name of action. Soft you now. The fair Ophelia, nymph in thy horizons. Be all my sins remembered.
Good, my lord. How does your honor for this many a day?
I humbly thank you. Well.
My lord, I have remembrances of yours that I have longed to redeliver. I pray you now receive them.
No, not I never gave you aught.
My honored lord, you know right well you did, and with them words of so sweet breath composed as made things more rich, the perfumes lost. Take these again, for to the noble mind, rich gifts wax poor when givers prove unkind. There, my lord.
Are you honest?
My lord,
Are you fair?
what means your lordship?
That if you be honest and fair, your honesty should admit no discourse to your beauty.
Could beauty, my lord, have better discourse, commerce than with honesty?
Aye, truly. For the power of beauty will sooner transform honesty from what it is to a bawd, than the force of honesty shall translate beauty into his likeness. This was sometime a paradox, but now time gives it proof. I did love you once.
Indeed, my lord, you made me believe so.
You should not have believed me. For virtue cannot so inoculate our old stock, but we shall relish of it. I loved you not.
I was the more deceived.
Get thee to a nunnery. Why wouldst thou be a breeder of sinners? I am myself indifferent honest, but yet I could accuse me of such things that it were better my mother had not borne me. I am very proud, revengeful, ambitious, with more offenses at my beck than I have thoughts to put them in, imagination to give them shape, or time to act them in. What should fellows such as I do crawling between heaven and earth? We are errant knaves, all. Believe none of us. Go thy ways to a nunnery. Where is your father?
At home, my lord.
Let the doors be shut upon him, that he may play the fool nowhere but in his own house. Farewell.
Oh, help them, you sweet heavens!
If thou dost marry, I'll give thee this plague for thy dowry. Be thou as chaste as ice, as pure as snow. Thou shalt not escape calumny. Get thee to a nunnery. Go! Farewell. Or, if thou wilt marry, marry a fool. For wise men know what monsters you make of them. To a nunnery, go, and quickly. Farewell.
Oh, heavenly powers, restore him!
I've heard of your paintings too. Well enough. God has given you one face, and you make yourselves another. You jig, you amble, you lisp, and you nickname God's creatures and make your wantonness your ignorance. Go to, I'll no more on it. It hath made me mad. I say there shall be no more marriages. Let those that be married already, all but one, shall die. The rest shall keep as they are. To a nunnery go.
Oh, what a noble mind is here overthrown. The courtiers, soldiers, scholars, eye, tongue, sword, the expectancy and rose of the fair state, the class of fashion and the mold of form, the observed of all observers, quite down. And I, of ladies most deject and wretched, that have sucked the honey of his music vows. Now I see the most noble and most sovereign reason, like sweet bells jangled, out of tune and harsh, an unmatched form and feature of blown youth, blasted by ecstasy. Oh, woe is me, to have seen what I have seen, see what I see.
Hello, I'm Linda Marie Johnson, and I will be doing Polonius' Advice to Laertes, the monologue from Act 1, Scene 3 of Hamlet. Yet here, Laertes? Aboard! Aboard for shame! The wind sits in the shoulder of your sail, and you are stayed for. There, my blessing with thee. In these few precepts in thy memory, see thou character. Give thy thoughts no tongue, nor any unproportioned thought his act. Be thou familiar, but by no means vulgar. The friends thou hast, and their adoption tried, grapple them to thy soul with hoops of steel. But do not dull thy palm with entertainment of each new-hatched, unfledged comrade. Beware of entrance to a quarrel, but being in, bear't, that the posed may beware of thee. Give every man thine ear, but few thy voice. Take each man's censure, but reserve thy judgment. Costly thy habit, that thy purse can buy, but not expressed in fancy, rich, not gaudy, for the apparel oft proclaims the man. And they in France, of the best rank and station, are of all most select and generous, chief in that. Neither a borrower nor a lender be, for loan oft loses both itself and friend, and borrowing dulls the edge of husbandry. This above all, to thine own self be true, and it must follow, as the night the day, thou canst not then be false to any man. Farewell. My blessing season this in thee. The time invites you, go, your servants tend. Thank you.
That which hath made them drunk hath made me bold. What hath quenched them hath given me fire. Hark! Peace! It was the owl that shrieked. The fatal bellman which gives the sternest good night. He is about it. The doors are open, and the surfeited grooms do mock their charge with snores. I have drugged their possets. The death and nature do contend about them, whether they live or die.
Who's there?
Hark! I'm afraid they have awaked, and 'tis not done. The attempt and not the deed confounds us. Hark! I laid their daggers ready. He could not miss them. Had he not resembled my father as he slept, I had done it. My husband.
I've done the deed. Didst thou not hear a noise?
I heard the owl scream and the crickets cry. Did not you speak?
When?
Now.
As I descended?
Aye.
Hark. Oh, this is a sorry sight.
A foolish thought to say a sorry sight.
There's one did laugh in sleep, and the other did cry murder. That they did wake each other. I stood, I heard them, but they did say their prayers and addressed them once again to sleep.
There are two lodged together.
One did cry, God bless us, and amen the other, as they'd seen me with these hangman's hands. Listening to their fear, I could not say amen when they did cry, God bless us.
Consider it not so deeply.
But wherefore could not I pronounce amen? I had the biggest need for blessing, and yet amen was stuck in my throat.
These deeds must not be thought after these ways, so they will make us mad.
Methought I heard a voice. Cried, sleep no more. Macbeth shall sleep no more. Innocent sleep. Sleep that knits up the raveled sleeve of care, the death of each day's life. Sore labor's bath, hurt mind's ball, great nature's second course, the chief feast that nourishes life.
What does that mean?
Still a voice cried, sleep no more. Macbeth shall sleep no more.
Who was it that thus cried? My worthy thing. You do unbend your noble strength to think so brain-sickly of things. Go get some water and wash this filthy witness from your hand. Why did you bring these daggers from the place? They must lie there! Go! Carry them and smear the sleepy grooms with blood.
I'll go no more. I'm afraid to think what I have done, and look on't again I dare not.
Infirm of purpose! Give me the daggers. The sleeping and the dead are but as pictures to the eye of childhood that fears a painted devil. If he do bleed, I'll gild the faces of the grooms withal, for it must seem their guilt.
Whence that knocking? How is't with me when every noise doth appall me? Oh, what hands are here? They do pluck out mine eyes. Will all Neptune's great oceans wash this blood clean from my hand? No. Rather this my hand will the multitudinous seas and incarnadine, making the green one red.
My hands are of your color, but I shame to wear a heart so white. I hear knocking at the south entry. Retire to our chamber. A little water clears us of this deed. How easy is it then? Hark! More knocking. Get on your nightgown, lest occasion call us and show us to be watchers. Be not lost so poorly in your thoughts.
To know my deed, 'twere best not know myself. Wake, Duncan, with thy knocking! And wouldst thou couldst?
I pray you, tarry. Pause a day or two before you hazard, for in choosing wrong I lose your company. Therefore, forbear a while. There's something tells me, but it is not love, I would not lose you, and you know yourself hate counsels not in such equality. But lest you should not understand me well, yet a maiden hath no tongue but thought, I would detain you here some month or two before you venture for me. I could teach you how to choose right, but I am then forsworn. So will I never be. So may you miss me? If you did, you'd make me wish a sin that I have been forsworn. Oh, beshrew your eyes. They have o'erlooked me and divided me. One half of me is yours, the other half yours. Mine own, I would say. But if mine, then yours. And so all yours. Oh, these naughty times put bars between their owners and their rights. And so though yours, not yours. Prove it so. Let fortune go to hell for it, not I. I speak too long, but 'tis to appease the time, to eke it and to draw it out in length, to stay you from election.
When I would pray and think, I think and pray to several subjects. Heaven hath my empty words, whilst my invention, hearing not my tongue, anchors on Isabel. Heaven in my mouth, as if I did but only chew his name, and in my heart the strong and swelling evil of my conception. Yea, my gravity, wherein let no man hear me, I take pride. Could I with boot change for an idle plume that the air beats for vain? Place, oh, form! How often dost thou, with thy case, thy habit, wrench awe from fools and tie the wiser souls to thy false seeming? How now? Who's there? Why does my blood thus muster to my heart?
How now, fair maid?
I am come to know your pleasure.
That you might know it would much better please me than to demand what 'tis. Your brother cannot live.
Even so, heaven keep your honor.
Yet may he live a while, and it may be as long as you or I. Yet he must die.
Under your sentence?
Yea.
When? I beseech you. That in his reprieve, longer or shorter, his soul may be so fitted that it sicken not.
Fie, these filthy vices! 'Tis all as easy falsely to take away a life true made, as to put metal in restrained means to make a false one.
'Tis set so down in heaven, but not in earth.
Say you so? Then I shall pose you quickly. Which should you rather, that the most just law now took your brother's life, or, to redeem him, give up your body to such sweet uncleanness as she that he hath stained?
Sir, believe this. I'd rather give up my body than my soul.
I talk not of your soul. Answer to this. I, now the voice of the recorded law, hereby pronounce a sentence on your brother's life. Might there not be a charity in sin to save this brother's life?
Please you to do it. That I do beg his life. If that be sin, heaven let me bear it. You granting of my suit, if that be sin, I'll make it my morn prayer to have it added to the faults of mine, and nothing to your answer.
Nay, but hear me. Your sense pursues not mine. Either you are ignorant, or seem so craftily, and that's not good. To be received plain, I'll speak more gross. Your brother is to die.
So?
And his offense is so, as it appears accountant to the law upon that pain.
True.
Admit no other way to save his life. As I subscribe not that, nor any other, but in the loss of question that you, his sister, finding yourself desired of such a person whose credit with the judge or own great place could fetch your brother from the manacles of the all-binding law, and that there were no earthly mean to save him, but that either you lay down the treasures of your body to the supposed, or else to let him suffer. what would you do?
As much for my poor brother as myself. That is, were I under the terms of death, the impression of keen whips I'll wear as rubies, and strip myself to death as to a bed that longing have been sick for, ere I'll yield my body up to shame.
Then must your brother die.
And 'twere the cheaper way. Better it were a brother die at once, than a sister, by redeeming him, should die forever.
Were you not then as cruel as the sentence you have slandered so?
Ignominy and ransom and free pardon are two houses. Lawful mercy is nothing kin to foul redemption.
You seemed of late to make the law a tyrant, and rather prove the slighting of your brother a merriment than a vice.
Oh, pardon me, my lord. It oft falls out. To have what we would have, we say not what we mean. I something do excuse the thing I hate for his advantage that I do dearly love.
We are all frail.
Else let my brother die.
Nay, women are frail too.
Aye, as the glasses from which they view themselves, which are as easily broke as they make forms. Women, help heaven, men their creation, mar in profiting by them.
I think it well. And from this testimony of your own sex, since I suppose we are made to be no stronger than faults may shake our frames, let me be bold. I do arrest your words, be that you are, that is, a woman. If you be more, you're none. If you be one, as you are well expressed by all external warrants, show it now by putting on the destined livery.
I have no tongue but mine, gentle my lord, I entreat you, speak the former language.
Plainly conceive, I love you.
Well, my brother did love Juliet, and you tell me that he shall die for it.
He shall not, Isabel, if you give me love.
No, your virtue has a license in it which seems a little fouler than it is to pluck on others.
Oh, believe me, on mine honor, my words express my purpose.
Little honor to be much believed, and most pernicious purpose. Seeming, I will proclaim the Angelo, look forth. Send me a present pardon for my brother, or with an outstretched throat, I'll tell the world aloud what man thou art.
Who will believe thee, Isabel? My unsoiled name, the austereness of my life, my vouch against you and my place in the state will so your accusation overweigh that you shall stifle in your own report and smell of calumny. I have begun, and now I give my sensual race the rein. Fit thy consent to my sharp appetite. Lay by all niceties and prolixious blushes that banish what they sue for. Redeem thy brother by yielding up thy body to my will. Or else he shall not only die the death, but thy unkindness shall his death draw out to lingering sufferance. And tomorrow, or by the affection that now guides me most, I'll prove a tyrant to him. As for you, say what you can. My false overweighs your true.
To whom should I complain? Did I tell this, who would believe me? Oh, perilous mouths who bear them one and the selfsame tongue, either of condemnation or reproof. Bidding the law make courtesy to their will, hooking both right and wrong to the appetite to follow as it draws. I'll to my brother. Though he hath fallen by prompture of the blood, yet hath he in him such a mind of honor, that had he 20 heads to tender down on 20 bloody blocks, he'd yield them up before his sister should her body stoop to such abhorred pollution. custody. I'll tell him yet of Angelo's request, and fit his mind to death for his soul's rest.
Lady Beatrice, have you wept all this while?
Yea, and I will weep a while longer.
I will not desire that.
You have no reason. I do it freely.
Surely I do believe your fair cousin is wronged.
How much might the man deserve of me that would right her?
Is there any way to show such a friendship?
A very even way, but no such friend.
Might a man do it?
It is a man's office, but not yours.
I do love nothing in the world so well as you. Is not that strange?
As strange a thing I know not. It were possible for me to say I love nothing so well as you. But believe me not, and yet I lie not. I confess nothing, but I deny nothing. Oh, I'm sorry for my cousin.
By my sword, Beatrice, thou lovest me.
Do not swear and eat it.
I will swear by it that you love me, and I will make him eat it that says I love not you.
Do you not eat your words?
With no sauce that can be devised to it, I do protest, I love thee!
Oh my God, forgive me!
What offense, sweet Beatrice?
You have stayed me in a happy hour. I was about to confess I loved you.
And do it with all thy heart.
I love you with so much of my heart. There is none left to protest.
Come, bid me do anything for thee.
Kill Claudio.
Not for the wide world.
You kill me to deny it. Farewell.
Tarry, Beatrice.
Oh, I stay though I am here. There is no love in you. I pray you let
Beatrice.
me go. I will go.
We will be friends first.
You would be friends with me rather than kill mine enemy?
Is Claudio that enemy?
Is he not approved to hide the villain who would slander, scorn, dishonor my kinswoman? Oh, that I were a man, to bear her in hand, and the hill they go to take hands, and then with public accusation, with uncovered slander, with unmitigated rancor. Oh, that I were a man, I would eat his heart in the marketplace.
Hear me, Beatrice.
To talk with a man out a window, a proper saying.
Nay, but Beatrice.
Oh, sweet hero. She is slandered. She is wronged. She is undone.
Beatrice.
Oh, princes and counties. A princely testimony, a goodly count. Count Confect. A sweet gallant, surely. Oh, that I were a man for his sake. Or I had a friend who would be a man for my sake. But manhood is melted into compliments and valor into courtesies. Men are turned into tongues, and trim ones too. Oh, he is as valiant as Hercules, who would tell a lie and swear it. I cannot be a man with wishing, so I will die a woman with grieving.
Tarry, Beatrice, by this hand, I love thee.
Then use it for my love some other way than by swearing.
Think you, in your soul, the Count Claudio hath wronged Hero?
As sure as I have a thought or a soul.
Enough. I am engaged. I will challenge him. I will kiss your hand, and so leave you. And by this hand Claudio shall render me a dear account. As you hear of me, so think of me. Go. Comfort your cousin. I must say she is dead. And so, farewell.